They didn't follow, they built what didn't exist. 2025 was the year when some of the biggest disruptors looked back. From market crashes to a global pandemic to 100 no's, they went through it all and finally found the light at the end of the tunnel.
आप कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम में बैठे हो, सैलरीज पेरोल देने के पैसे नहीं, and it's 1 week later.
Most startups, sooner or later, they sometimes face this really deep existential crisis. I know, many other startups also, they have to face, post-pandemic, many startups did. So for Myntra in 2013, I think, so for us, it has been 6 years by that time. We have gone through a couple of pivots, lot of challenges about how to make this work. But finally in 2012, 2013, we have got the right investor, things were working, we are growing every month, every quarter, and we really felt, okay, now we are on to a very big opportunity. And 2013 turned out a pretty bad year. It was, towards the, I think, last year of UP government, a lot of the Forex crisis. There was a lot of doubts about India as an investment destination. So despite doing everything well, no investor would touch us in 2013. And we were trying to fundraise entire 2013, but over a period of time, just none of them materialized. Either we would get polite no's or people just say, let's wait and watch, let's see next year, and so on. And as we reaching end of the year, as you say, we had no money left in the bank. Now we had a company with probably 300 employees, lots of customers, and we are going to hit the payroll in just 7-8 days from then. And just, we did not have enough money in the bank to even meet the payroll.
I was surprised to learn that you still don't give your address out. So if you go online and you try and look for where address is, you're not going to find it. Tell us why.
One day we saw that some 50-60 people are standing outside the building. And we were unsure as to what we thought. That it must be some procession which is going on. But they were actually brokers who wanted to break the office, who wanted to break computers, beat our people so that we can close the office. Because some of the customers told them that we will first look at no broker, and then we are going to come and talk to you. So they were pretty upset. We called police, did not get much help. We went to the police station, but broker stayed there. So thankfully, we had an iron grill door, which we closed. So not a big damage happened. But after that, it was impossible to work from there because the brokers used to constantly harass the female employees who used to leave office after work, the motorbikes which are parked outside. So they made sure that we cannot function from that office. So they did beat a couple of our employees. And even today, so as recent as just 2 months back, many of our relationship managers in Pune who show the houses to the clients, what some of the brokers did was they tied up with the security guards. And the moment a no broker employee enters the building, the security guard called the broker. They came and they physically thrashed our guy. Did not happen just once, happened 7-8 times. So then we had to go to police station, and even in the police station, they had the audacity to come in the group and threaten us inside the police station. So I'm not saying all the brokers are like this, but there are some brokers or some friends of brokers who are goon-like.
Now, when I look back at your history, you have not one but two big crises that could have put your business into extinction.
Well, more than two, I guess. A lot more than two.
So two big ones which come to mind. One is you start right before the GFC, global financial crisis. You do a pivot and then you have COVID come in.
We were almost on the verge of kind of running out of cash. And then the GFC happened. So one night before we were supposed to get the money in the bank, we get a phone call and the deal was off because Lehman Brothers had collapsed. And like, we had no idea of how to deal with that kind of a crisis because it was the first time something like this had happened to us. So we went to the team and we told, here's the situation. We'll probably run out of money in like 2 to 3 months. And so we'll have to let go of at least half of you. And the team really appreciated the fact that they just thought that, we had answers to all the questions, but that's what people always think about founders, but sometimes they don't. And, when they saw us that vulnerable, that's when they kind of, rose up to the occasion and they came back to us and said that, you know what, you don't have to do that. Give us some time and we'll figure out something. So there's this engineer who was our junior from ITK. So he went back into a room with the rest of the people and then came out 30 minutes later and said that, you know what, we've all decided to take 50% salary cut to survive through this. So you don't have to let go of anybody. We'll go through this together and, we'll survive.
And I think that moment changed everything for us. And it has become a defining moment in all crises to come, ever.
At 22, you have a job in Samsung.
Yes.
You have come out of IIT.
Yes.
Yeah. You're living the dream, right? This is the
Yes.
dream. You go
Yes.
to IIT, you get a good job,
Yeah.
and then you quit at 22.
I was definitely very freshly graduated. I had my first job in Samsung, and I quit my job without a plan because I had the privilege of good education. I had the privilege of having great parents, great support system. I've realized if I, as an Indian, Indian youth, I'm not taking a risk, then I don't think I can expect the rest of the Indian youth to take a risk. I have got nothing to lose. I have got great education, great parents. I have got 3 square meals a day. What else do you need? And that is truly the spirit with which I quit my job. But however, I did not have a plan. I did not have a plan. I did not have a team. So I ventured into some traditional industries, including real estate, mining, manufacturing tiles, marketing agency, and payments, logistics. So bunch of this, and I've
Koi sector choda nahi.
Huh?
You tried everything, didn't leave anything.
because I wasn't getting success in any sector. I'm like, at least one sector, please favor me.
2013, at that point, how easy or difficult was it to raise funds? You've now recently raised another round of funding. What was the scenario then?
So in 2013, we started very simply. It was Namrata and I operating out of a spare bedroom in her parents' house. So we scrapped together a little bit of money. We got a small tabletop roaster, a small grinder, and we launched the brand with a few lakhs of investment, very simply, selling online, and that's sort of the origins of it. So from there, we started selling B2B, so we tied up with a few offices, a few other cafes, got some initial traction, hired some employees. We ended up moving into another room in Namrata's parents' house, and then it kind of reached an inflection point of where we had to decide, did we want to keep it kind of a mom and pop lifestyle business, or did we want to raise outside capital and scale? We felt that the opportunity to sell good quality coffee, to sell specialty coffee in India was too large. That if we didn't take, if we didn't scale, whatever first mover advantage we had developed up to that point would be lost by someone else and could really threaten our business. We were both at points in our careers where we were looking to do something on our own, and we were really struggling to find a good cup of coffee. So we were in Delhi, and at that time there was the cafe coffee days, some international brands like Costa, Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, but all of them were selling kind of a commodity coffee product. So I grew up in the US and I was exposed to specialty coffee culture there. And so I was looking for a good cup of coffee that you would get in the third wave. So we started doing some research. We found that there were estates who were growing very high quality coffee, but they weren't focused on the domestic market.
2014, Urban Clap comes to life after one attempt that didn't quite go as you wanted. The biggest transition actually for a lot of people that I speak to on this show is from that steady job to the entrepreneur. It's a mindset shift, isn't it?
It is. I think the paycheck stops hitting the bank account every month, and especially if your first idea or first startup doesn't work out, which in our case was true. We'd built a product, but when we put it out there in the market, it didn't really succeed. And it was a good lesson for us to... Actually, sometimes I feel like first ideas are sort of a rite of passage, to go on to eventually build what you are destined to build. You have to get past that first, rather naive idea.
So where did the kernel of this idea come from? Was it through personal experience?
I was trying to get a carpentry job done, and 3 carpenters, and 24 hours later, the job was still unfinished. And when we started to compare notes with ourselves, with a lot of consumers back then, we were talking to a lot of consumers, we were spending time in the market. This was coming up as a recurrent theme, that, getting reliable services at home is not a solved problem. So it became quite evident to us that here was a fairly large category where both sides were broken. The consumer was not getting the quality and reliability they wanted, and the service professionals were not getting a dignified, respectful middle-class life.
Disrupted your own life first. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Infosys. You had the career that a lot of people aspire to, and then you give it all up and say, okay, I'm going to build a business renting furniture.
Correct. And mainly because I thought that I was not fitting into that mold. The corporate world was not for me. And, you need to be that extremely smart, and I thought I was not smart enough. So moved back to India back in 2010 with Goldman Sachs. I was working with them for a year. I was not sure whether I'm going to stay back in India or move back to the US. I had that option. So had Furlenco happened then, I would have definitely rented from them. But it was not there, and hence the idea was born.
No, I want to go back to the bit where you're saying you left this corporate lifestyle and corporate path because you thought you weren't clever enough. Something that is not ringing right, because you thought, I'm not clever enough to work in a structured environment, but I am clearly clever enough to start a business.
I don't think business and entrepreneurship is about being clever. I think business and entrepreneurship is about perseverance and patience. It is not an IIT 3-hour exam or a CAT 3-hour exam that you need to crack it and you need to get 99 percentile. No. Neither did I crack IIT, nor did I crack CAT, right? This is about doing the same boring thing again and again and again and again, and you will finally succeed. That's what I mean. It took me 14 years. 2011 is when I started this. It's 2025. Now we're profitable and going places. But it takes that kind of a time. So there will be a lot of hurdles. You will lose your hair. You will not be able to pay salaries. You will find yourself very, very lonely at times. It is not a 3-hour exam.
Brand is now 12 years.
Yeah.
It's started by a group of friends, all of you from Mumbai, in your first jobs as financial analysts. Then what happens?
Yeah, well, we were pretty bored of our jobs. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't mean we were bad at it. We didn't like it. And I was going to do an MBA, engineering, finance MBA like everyone else. And I realized that even post MBA, my life is pretty much going to be the same. So we decided, what do you enjoy every day? And I think that's very key. Otherwise, people just wait. Every Sunday becomes dreadful otherwise, you're looking forward to a Friday. And for me, pop culture is pretty much what I'm really into it. As I think I told you, my dog's name is Hobbit. I'm love Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, any of the superhero comic books. I've read it all. And I wanted to do something in this. And in India, there was nobody selling official licensed merchandise. That platform didn't exist. If you wanted, for example, like a Batman t-shirt, you had to go to some very expensive shop where it was imported from the US, or you had to go to Fashion Street where it was 200-300 rupees, So there was a big gap in the market, and we decided, let's do this and let's start. And we started very humbly. None of us come from money. We each put in about 1.75 lakh, 5.25 lakh. Bought a cupboard of t-shirts, printed it with some, we didn't start off with the licenses, so printed it with some funny quotes, and then grew that cupboard from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8, and from there.
How come you were trading? I mean, is it something which you saw a lot of people in your family doing? Do you come from that kind of a background which is interested in capital markets?
No, I mean, I was. I've said this a bunch of times, but I was living around Marwadi friends, and they got me introduced to markets early, and I started trading 17, 18, and Nikhil is like 6-7 years younger than me, and he also started trading at 17, 18. I dropped out of college. He dropped out of school. So we come from a family where education is, if you're not done engineering from a A-grade college, people look down upon you. So no, nothing. I mean, I was probably the first businessman in the extended family.
Did you have to, was it a challenge to explain that to your family? Was there pushback that, what are you doing? What is this business? What is this plan?
No, my parents were actually very supportive. Like, right from when I started trading, my dad and my mom supported. But outside of my dad and mom, I got asked to go get a real job. Till 2012-13, so for almost 14-15 years of my life, there were people who were telling me to go get a real job.
There's always that one uncle, na? Who is like...
No, but not one, I had many. So yeah, but now that it's worked, it comes across as passionate, but it very well could have not worked. So I understand and appreciate all the luck. I mean, like you said earlier, right place, right moment, everything. It's just ridiculous how much luck has played along.
What was the nadir, the most challenging point that you faced when you said that, yeah, maybe I need to go back to that professional job and that fixed salary, and this is not really working out?
There was a month when I remember that I think the lowest personal point for me was when I could not pay my daughter's school fees for a quarter. And this is not some grand school fees, okay? She started going to a good school, like one of the best schools in Pune, but it's a public school, like a missionary school. That was, I would say, personally, that I remember that. That was a time when it was a little bit, scary, I would say. And also, more than for me, but for my wife and daughter, it was something. Because they were, they never thought that money would be a problem, And my wife actually used to do a decent, like, pretty good job in London. So she came back and said, okay, I would leave my career for you, and not many people do that. But then that was a time when it all hit the ceiling, I would say.
Yeah.
एक अमृतसर का लड़का खाना बनाना सीखता है, न्यूयॉर्क कैसे पहुंचता है?
मैं न्यूयॉर्क पहुंचा नहीं, मेरे पास चॉइस नहीं थी उस टाइम पे कोई लाइफ में. मेरा बैंक्वेट था बहुत सक्सेसफुल अमृतसर में, तो एक लोकल ऑफिशियल्स के साथ कोई झगड़ा हो गया छोटी सी बात पे, तो उन्होंने मेरा सारा बैंक्वेट तोड़ दिया. आई वाज 29 एंड आई वाज हार्ट ब्रोकन. जो चीज़ मैंने, मेरी दादी ने, मेरी मम्मा ने हाथ से बनाई थी, और उसको बिल्कुल उन्होंने क्रश कर दिया. देयर वाज नो एम्पैथी, देयर वाज नो रीजनिंग, दे डिडंट गिव अस अ मोमेंट टू इवन थिंक व्हाट दे आर डूइंग. दे जस्ट केम एंड दे बुलडोज्ड एवरीथिंग. उसके बाद मुझे लगा कि रीस्टार्ट कैसे करूँगा मैं लाइफ को. आई वाज अ ग्रेजुएट फ्रॉम मणिपाल. आई हैड ट्रेन्ड अंडर ताज वेलकम ग्रुप.
मणिपाल में आपने
होटल मैनेजमेंट किया.
होटल मैनेजमेंट.
So I had already worked under Taj in Delhi. I worked for Mughal Sheraton in Agra. I had worked for Siroc in Bombay. I had worked with Kathmandu में Soltio Broys in. So मेरी बहुत training थी. And suddenly everything just means it adds up to nothing. तभी मेरे भाई ने मुझे किताब दी थी, Jonathan Livingstone's Seagull. So that book really moved me, and मेरी बहन ने कहा कि न्यूयॉर्क इज़ द प्लेस. अगर जंप मारना ही है ना तो न्यूयॉर्क में मार, अगर लैंड हो गया तो क्यूजीन चेंज कर देगा. This we are talking about 2000. I go to American embassy and I tell them everything what's happened to me. I got a visa. I went to America and that's how everything changed.
What has been the toughest part of this journey where you felt you've made this presentation and clearly this is a presentation or this is a pitch you've not made for the first time about the category, about why the black polythene bag, etc., such a huge untapped market. Was it tough initially to get people to buy into the story? Which was the toughest point?
Actually journey ऊपर कम गई है. I think नीचे खड्डों में ज़्यादा गई है. From the day one when we told our parents कि हम ये करने वाले हैं, मीट बेचने वाले हैं. I come from actually vegetarian family. बनिया vegetarian family, and my parents, my dad said, मैं मतलब लोगों को क्या बोलूँगा. That was his only worry, and then obviously there was some conversation and he said बताएंगे ही नहीं तो ये कर रहा है. थोड़े दिन में तो फेमस हो गए तो अलग प्रॉब्लम हो गया. तो and then there was conversation कि यार क्या बोलेंगे, एक ही काम कितना है विवेक ने. मतलब there was so much of societal pressure also I had to face.
What was the first reaction when you said, I'm leaving my well-paying job in Mumbai to start a delivery service?
So I was working in Mumbai in System 2 Advisors. So that's a US-based hedge fund.
Okay.
So
mota paisa, good
mota
salary.
paisa, acha paisa, good work, good data science work that I was working at, good team as well. So in order to test their patience, so I told them that I have left my job, even without putting down the papers.
To your parents?
To my parents, so that I can get their reactions out, what they are actually thinking about this idea. And then the drama started. So my dad was shocked. My dad was like, "Matlab, pagal ho gaya kya?" So his words were, and at that point in time, his major concerns were, कि यार nobody pays for delivery. Delivery should be a free delivery thing. So how much money can you actually make? And how many deliveries actually happen? So I come from Jaipur, and in Jaipur at that point in time, and even till today as well, अगर कुछ आपको सामान लेके आना होता है तो mostly somebody from the house goes and picks it up. Because that is possible in a city like Jaipur. Bangalore, Mumbai, it's not that possible. So he's like an unfeasible idea. The second problem that he told me, कि you are working with blue-collared people. Now these are delivery partners, blue-collared guys, and managing them at scale, it would be nightmare. Because they have different ways of working, and I mean, so his exact words were like, you may get money, you may get fame, but you will never get peace of mind.
Does this kind of partnership work personally and professionally? Would you recommend it for couples to go into business together? Because there are a fair amount of now couples who are running businesses.
Yeah, and very successfully, of course. You see a lot of them. I think it's a very personal thing. I think most of the startups fail because the co-founders can't see eye to eye at some point of time. That chemistry is gone, or the trust factor is gone. I think one clear advantage of being with a spouse or maybe with a sibling is that you never have to question the other person's intent. Right? So there are decisions that he will take without even consulting me, and I will just go by saying that, okay, I know the intent is right. We may go wrong on the decision, but the intent is right. That's never questioned.
Correct.
Right? So that is what I think works very well.
But as long as there's mutual respect, I think things should be perfectly all right being together in business.
Is this a partnership extend to running the household, managing the kids as well, 50-50, or is that something that they just don't know?
My God.
Okay.
Obviously, that's my job.
We don't have enough time.
No, of course we do.
Oh, now I'm going to take over the entire conversation.
Waiting for an answer. Guilty as charged.
It's getting there. I think it's getting there. But it's fine. Yeah, of course. It is not 50-50. I won't be I won't mince words, but it's fine. It's okay.
Guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged. Okay, let's
so,
get.
Typically, when the kids have a problem, they'll call me up. If I don't answer, they'll call him up and say, "Where's mom?"
In fact, we forced our children to sit on the sales team, take calls, convert calls. Why? Internship, free labor, right? सीखा, बेच के दिखा.
I want to talk a bit about this dynamic. This is, fantastic to talk to both of you. You were about, less than 2 years apart? Huh? Have you all always been close as sisters? Did you fight growing up? How do you run a company together? And now it's getting high stakes, right? It's no longer one little experiment. You've been doing it for 9 years. You're saying you may IPO, you may be looking at acquisitions. How does this dynamic work?
I'll tell you, it's the childhood. Our father was in a transferable job, RPF. So we have moved a lot of cities. So the only constant for each other was us. So we had to be friends. We had to be soulmates. We fight it out. We don't take it to bed. Growing up, working together was completely different. It was not like playing games or telling stories to each other. We had to work upon ourselves, upon our relationship a lot. It's not just the two of us anymore. We are supporting 17,000 weavers and artisans, 300-member team. It's not our little fights anymore. So we finish a fight in 5 minutes, no matter what. And I think anyone can.
Anyone can.
And
what is the success ratio? Come on, let's be honest now.
Me a little more, the elder.
So you pull the card of elder sister, huh?
Not really. I give up very fast. she does. If it's a very aimless fight, I give up. She lets go faster than me. But also I'll tell you one interesting fact about how we are also together in this. We made the whole family come together. So both of us, we live together with our kids, with our husband, with our dog, with our parents. In the house.
So how many people live in this household?
13 of us with the full-time help and everything. 13 of us in that house, and then we make it happen. The breakfast is in our house, dinner and lunch is in my house, but we are just right across the whole floor. We're just running around all the time. But we made it happen because it's impossible otherwise. And I don't think we could have had a better co-founder, because if there's a mess in the house, she knows what's happening in the house, right? And she'll just take care. She'll take charge and do things for me. So yeah, being sisters, I think it's super strong. If somebody can have the relationship, amazing. But yes, we had to work on it. It was not from day one that we were like that.